Hey guys, happy Sunday. We're going to have a Sunday fun day talk. There's a lot going on. Julie's here. Sizzle's here. How are you guys doing today? So we've got a lot to talk about. We've got Gypsy back on social media. She's got her TikTok back. And we also have some videos I want us to watch together because I haven't seen all of them, but we're going to watch one of the videos from Nick because a lot of people aren't talking about the Nick videos, but there's one that I want us to watch together, and it is his response to the video of when Gypsy told him she could walk. So let me share my screen. And thank you to Into the Weeds. And let me find the video here, guys. I just seen it just the other day. I know I should have gotten it together. Was it Into the Weeds or was it Carolina? I can't remember which one I got it from. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. This one's from Carolina. I'm sorry. Let me switch this up. I'm sharing the wrong one. Hold on. Let me remove and let's go here. We're going to do the Carolina girl. All right, here we go.
Yes, you heard. I just watched the videos. I'm trying to think of how to answer this. Figured I'd do it on videos because I don't know. Yeah, I'm covered up in the blanket right now. As you can see. But yeah, dear. Well, let's see. When it comes to what you were talking about, I did say something online. You told me online, and then I got to see it on video. The whole situation, dude having to not go dance, it's okay if you don't go dance at our wedding night. It won't matter to me. Because I know I'll get to have the very first dance you've ever had with me.
And it's so sad because he's really believing all of these manipulation tactics. He's believing all of it. He's believing it all.
I mentioned about how we will get off of here. My spiritual brother is helping me with this, obviously, since he's the only one that can. But as soon as he's done all he had to do for it to be possible, which is a lot of things, it seems, since I've had him doing it since, gosh, how long? Freaking 14 months, maybe? He's been digging deeper and deeper and getting all he needs to for it to be possible. So, there. Damn. I'm obviously gonna freaking get a haircut soon. Gosh, I got this much hair on my head when I'm freaking. Oh my god. Realize just how much hair I have. I don't mind the beard, obviously. I've gotten used to having one. It doesn't bother me like it used to whenever I first started growing one. But,
if you notice, he does not talk like she does. She's got all of this X talk, and that's the way she does all of them. But he doesn't do that. It's just really weird. It's just really weird.
Yeah, dude. There's one thing I'm gonna have you do, and no matter what you're doing it, because I'm not gonna have it where you never get to walk ever again. I'm gonna make it through no matter what. You're gonna have it. You broke down because of the thing, so you give me no reason to say no. I'd rather stay broken, honey. I tell you right now, spiritually, you can walk around. It's just your own body that you can't. Just your body. That's all it is. It's all in your own soul for you to be able to will yourself to do anything. The soul is capable of amazing things, honey. It is. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if you and me are able to do things you never thought would be possible.
And he's just telling her, because he's thinking that, yeah, she really does want to be with him. But we know that she really didn't.
So this about the slow dancing, we'll probably get to do that in more other forms of dancing besides that. When I set my eyes on you, honey, when I did, something you gotta understand, when I did do that, from that day on, I wasn't gonna let anything come between you and me. I wasn't gonna let anything that's wrong with you, I wasn't gonna let anyone that could be around us, I wasn't gonna let anything, when I say thing, meaning some type of documentation or something, keep us from being together. Didn't matter what it was, I'm not gonna let it come between us. And you saying you were trying to be selfless, honey. The funny thing is, I hate bringing that name up. Yes, the one that starts with a J. She did the damn same thing. She thought, the only difference is that you don't understand how much you do deserve me.
That is just so weird. That is just so weird.
As true as you have been to me, you deserve me. She has done a lot of shit behind my back.
And if you guys don't remember, she actually talked to his ex-girlfriend behind his back.
You haven't. If you never do it, you're always going to be deserving of my love and my trueness to you and everything like that. You're always going to be deserving of it. And then you wonder why I treat you like a queen. It's because I feel you deserve it. If I didn't feel you deserve it, I would have not even bothered with our relationship. I'm being honest. I wouldn't have really even bothered with it. I noticed you didn't answer about what I said with my minus blood. It's true though, what I said. It is true. You said you're going to stop hurting me. Honey, that's a good idea. Stop doing it. But if you're going to push me away, do it in the proper way. Because some men, the ones who understand the female psychology, luckily I'm one of them, I only understand the basic of it, but at least I understand it to a point. Ones like me who understand it to a point, you got to understand that I am going to obviously expect that you want me to pull you closer. As long as you keep it between you and me, I'll expect it that way.
And this is the man that she said that she was so scared of. She was so scared of him. And this is the man she said she was so scared of.
You don't ever bring another soul up. I'm always going to think of it that way. As soon as you bring up another soul, though, I'm going to think of it as you're purposely trying to hurt me. Like I did earlier. But I'm pretty much past that now, as long as you don't do it again. And you said you weren't going to do it again? We'll see about that. I say we'll see about that because you've repeated things in the past of other things you said you were done doing.
See, he's catching on too because she does. She has cycles and she repeats things. And we see her doing that to this day. And that's why it's so important for us to watch these videos because she hasn't changed. She does everything in cycles. She was even doing it back then.
And the thing is that
Thank you, main chick.
you always say that you've always been the weaker one out of you and me. Honey, you might feel like you're the weaker one out of you and me. But the truth is You're just as strong spiritually as I am. You're a female copy of my own soul. Think about that, honey. You're a female copy of my own soul. I'm just a little surprised on some of the things you said because I can't see why that stuff would make you think it would hold you back. Your mom isn't completely right. Heck, she's not even partly right. Sweetheart, I don't mind if at the moment you'd need me by your side at all times. And you're probably right about one thing. And you said that you probably just need a hug. You just need our physical connection, that part of all the different types of connections there are, that one in general, you just need that one to connect. And you won't feel broken inside anymore like you said you feel. I can understand it. I can understand it. The only thing is obviously us males.
And she was hurting him even back then. She was hurting him. And it's sad.
We're meant to be stronger physically, mentally, obviously sexually, obviously. Since we have to be the ones doing all the work most of the time. But, let's see, physically, mentally, sexually. What the hell? We're equal, I would have to say, in psychologically. Yeah, psychologically. I had to freaking convert your video into the format of my TV before I watched it.
Now, guys, let me show you this. So that's what he was talking about back then. But I want to show you something on NPG Cornerstone Nation, because this is what his people, they're saying a lot and they're wanting to talk about accountability. So let's see what they're saying about accountability now. Hold on.
Note, this video is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. The information presented is based on publicly available materials and is provided to offer clarity, context, and facilitate responsible discussion. Things are not always as they appear. Most people following this case are familiar with the media timeline. The crime happened in June 2015. BuzzFeed's article sparked public interest in August 2016. HBO released its documentary in 2017, and that same year, Shrew Sits Down with Dr. Phil. Then came ID's fictional adaptation in early 2018. Another documentary later that October. Nick goes to trial in November, and in December, a 2020 episode.
Look at how much media attention they brought to the case before Nick even went to court, before Nick even had his trial. So it's almost like everything was stacked against him so that he was going to take the fall for every single bit of it. And that's ridiculous. Hey, John, I want to say hello to a couple of people. Hey, John Laurie. Main Chick. Shorty Pie. Thank you guys for stopping by today. Yay. But I don't know. I wish I knew who was behind the NPG Cornerstone Nation, because it is just so strange. It's like in one video, it seems like they're trying to help him, but then in others, it seems like they're trying to change the narrative. So it's just strange.
January 2019 brought Dr. Oz and the Lifetime movie. Hulu's series followed in March. Oxygen airs its special in July, a release that effectively brought all Nick's interviews to a halt. And after all those, A&E added its documentary in January 2021. Now, most of the guests in that film were credible journalists. One had even interviewed Nick multiple times. However, there was one guest, a self-proclaimed leading expert, someone Nick had never communicated with, not once, before or since. Yet for some reason, they were commenting on the moment he was taken into custody. And what did this expert offer? Something that had never appeared in any prior source, not in reports, not in statements, not in other documentaries, not anywhere. A dramatic, completely fabricated detail.
Now, guys, listen to this. I don't know who they're actually talking about, but we know that there's a lot of people that have made that narrative of Gypsy being abused, Gypsy being the victim. And we know that she was not the victim at all.
They went out, and there was actually a standoff between Nicholas and the police for a brief moment. He was brandishing a knife and waving it around, and he didn't want to come out.
The original BuzzFeed article even stated the standoff was brief. Nick quickly surrendered. So why would a self-proclaimed leading expert add details that were never true? Why present a fanciful lie as fact? You'd think any true expert would verify their information before making a slanderous statement on cable television. But here's the truth. Nick never said anything like that. Not in his interrogation, not in any statement. And no documentary, article, police report, or source has ever originally reported this detail, nor has any source repeated it since. It wasn't mentioned at trial. It appears in no evidence, no report, no document, because it never happened. It was entirely fabricated.
And how many instances have we seen this happen? They're trying to push an agenda.
Many people say, be careful who you listen to and where you get your information from. Misinformation comes from the very experts who claim to tell the truth. And often, the loudest voices are the ones who get it the most wrong. Bottom line, no matter what dish they're serving, don't be April Fooled. Now, let's look at what is in evidence. The material A and E could have easily accessed before airing this guest's claim. The two arresting officers who entered Nick's house and took them into custody provided legal statements describing exactly what they witnessed. According to Nick, one officer's account is completely whitewashed, while the other is somewhat more accurate.
And we know that Nick has always told the same story. His story has never changed.
One officer documented, and notice what he doesn't mention.
I maintained my position at the bottom of the stairwell and continued announcements. A short time later, I had a verbal contact with the male subject, later identified as Godejohn. Several times, Godejohn said, "I'm coming, just a minute." A short period of time, Godejohn did appear at the top of the stairwell with his hands where I could see them. It should be noted, Godejohn was wearing a t-shirt and shorts at the time of our contact. Based on the steep stairwell, I had Godejohn walk forward down the stairwell for his safety. When Godejohn reached approximately the fourth step from the bottom of the stairwell, I ordered him to turn around and face back up the stairwell for our safety. As I attempted to give Godejohn further commands to slowly step down the stairwell, Godejohn began to drop his hands down towards his waist and turned his head around to see where Deputy Redacted and I were located. Godejohn refused further instruction to face forward.
Here's what the second officer documented, and notice what he does mention.
Deputy Redacted, and I continued to hold on the staircase. It was later authorized by command, and a flashbang was deployed, utilizing a bang pole on the exterior of the residence in an attempt to gain some sort of response from Nicholas or the Shrew. Approximately 20 minutes after the flashbang was deployed, I advised units that I had heard movement coming from upstairs, and I began issuing verbal commands to both the Shrew and Nicholas to show themselves at the top of the stairs with nothing in their hands and their hands above their head. At that point, Deputy Redacted and I continued to issue verbal commands to Nicholas, who we could hear moving throughout the upper level of the residence. Nicholas did, at one point, acknowledge our verbal commands and stated, "I mean you no harm, I'll be down in a minute." Nicholas could be heard moving throughout the upper level of the residence. A short time later, Nicholas did appear at the top of the steps. Nicholas was wearing a t-shirt and athletic shorts and had both of his hands above his head. Both of his hands were empty. However, based on the fact that Nicholas was possibly armed and unsearched, as well as his physical positioning at the top of the stairs, and the knowledge we had that he may have committed a homicide, Deputy Redacted and I did point our rifles at Nicholas for our safety. Deputy Redacted did issue verbal announcement to Nicholas to walk down the stairs. Nicholas then walked down the stairs while facing us to the fourth or fifth step of the staircase. At this point, Nicholas was approximately 5 to 6 feet away from Deputy Redacted and I. At that point, Deputy Redacted ordered Nicholas to stop and turn around and to keep his hands above his head. At that point, Nicholas did turn around. However, turned his head and continued to face us, despite numerous commands to face away from Deputy Redacted and I. He continued to say, "I just want to ask you guys a question." While Nicholas was speaking with Deputy Redacted and I, he began lowering his hands from above his head, down below the top of his shoulders, and began turning his shoulders back towards the staircase and began moving, as if he was going to ascend the stairs. At that point, I reached out with my left hand and grabbed the waistband of Nicholas's shorts. Nicholas continued to pull away up the stairs. At this point, Deputy Redacted and I both blanketed an arm of Nicholas and decentralized Nicholas in a controlled manner to the bottom of the stairs, where other deputies were able to place Nicholas in handcuffs, search him, and remove him from the scene.
Both officers document the same key fact. Neither said he was carrying or waving a weapon. If Nick had been carrying a weapon with 2 rifles pointed at him, if he had been waving it around the way this leading expert comically demonstrated, what do you think would have happened? A weapon would have put both officers and Nick at risk. It would have been an important detail, something every piece of media would have covered from the very beginning. But why the brief standoff? According to Nick, he had been sleeping when he woke to the sound of police officers calling his name from inside the house at the base of the stairs. The shrew, startled, leapt over him and bolted into the closet. Both of them naked, Nick followed, pulling the closet door shut behind him. Inside that dark space, she assured him she wouldn't serve any time, promising she'd get him the best attorney possible.
You know that she was doing that because she did not think she was going to get caught. She thought Nicholas would not implicate her at all.
Moments later, a flashbang grenade detonated upstairs. The closed closet door shielded them from the blast of light. Then, in a moment that surprised even him, she bent a wire hanger and picked the closet door open, a skill Nick never knew she possessed. She stepped out, yelled to the officers that she was coming, quickly got dressed, and headed toward the stairwell. Nick called her back, hugged her, and told her to make sure the officers understood she had come up to Wisconsin under her own power. She then continued toward the stairs while Nick began dressing. He wasn't sure why he skipped socks and shoes. Nick grabbed his phone and wallet, placing both in his left pocket, and told the police he'd be down in a minute. Trusting his intuition, he picked up a small vitamin water, energy strawberry lime, and chugged the rest, unsure how the day was about to unfold. Nick then moved toward the stairs and followed the officer's commands. He maintains he never dropped his hands or tried to look back at them, but as one officer grabbed his left wrist, his balance shifted. His right hand went to the step to keep from falling. In that split second, another officer seized him by the waistband. Within moments, he was pulled down to the bottom of the stairwell and shoved outside onto the concrete step, injuring his ribcage, an injury that still bothers him today. He fell forward with both arms extended as they continued to restrain him. Once on the ground, he was handcuffed, clearly trying to hurt him. Nick even remembers saying, "Geez, guys, not so rough." The officers lifted him, walked him to the back patio, and emptied his pockets. Nick was then moved to the far side of the garage and had him sit on the wood to wait. He didn't see anybody. He had no idea where anyone was, not the shrew, not his family, not even Cola, their dog. Side note, according to official records, his family, including Cola, were evacuated, briefly taken into custody for debriefing, and then transported to the staging area and command post at Big Bend Elementary. Nick was placed in a police SUV and taken to the nearest fire department, where EMTs bandaged him. Only then was he transported to the police department to wait for his interrogation interview to begin. And now we reach the core: accountability. In true crime productions, responsibility is shared. Guests, especially self-proclaimed leading experts, are responsible for the accuracy of what they say.
That is absolutely right. And that is where we are today because they got it wrong and nobody looked into anything.
If they present false claims as fact, they can be held liable. Producers are responsible for vetting those claims before putting them on screen. If they ignore evidence or fail to fact check, they share that responsibility. And networks, including cable networks like A&E, have an obligation to uphold editorial standards, ensuring that misinformation, distortion, and defamation never make it to air. When a guest's claim contradicts easily obtainable evidence, the network cannot hide behind the excuse of, well, that's just what the self-proclaimed leading expert said. So when a fabricated statement passes the guest, the producers, and the network, and still makes it to the final broadcast, that failure does not belong to one person. It belongs to all of them.
So why was all of this done like this? And it also makes you wonder, now that we know what we know, was Rod and Christy in on all of this? That's what I want to know. Did they know? Did they know all of this was going to happen? And it makes me wonder because with all the stuff that is now coming out, it seems like they know. They knew all of this. And you know that while she was I think it was when she was in the closet, when Rod sent her that message that he would come and pick her up. Why would he come and pick her up now? And she couldn't have called him beforehand to come pick her up? That just seems awfully strange to me. Awfully strange. And now it's distractions after distractions. But I mean, and nobody thinks that Nicholas should be out just running free right now. I know I don't, but it just seems kind of funny. So, how is the chat doing? We got Kimberly. We got boss ladies here. But why would Rod think she'd be available? Exactly. Exactly. Why do you think? It just makes you wonder. Don't you? I wonder what she said to him for him to say that he would come and pick her up. That's what I want to know. I just think it's so weird. And all of the distractions that keep coming in and keep coming in. We've got so much distractions now. And then I read today where, did you know that Woo Woo Bestie has got a new GoFundMe up? I had no clue until I read that. And that's just the weird thing about it. Yes, everyone involved in this case is strange. And why all the lies? Yes, why all the lies? And it makes you wonder. It almost feels like this was all set up in the beginning, because it was almost right since as soon as she was arrested, you've got Christy going on and making all of the tours. She was going on everybody that would have her on. That's what she was doing. Well, Woo Woo Bestie has got to go fund me up, they're saying, for her to start up a new life away from her husband, is what they're saying. Now, I'm going to see if I can find it. There is actually a new let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. But somebody was also talking about how Gypsy paid $1,500 for Woo Woo Bestie to go get her a place. And then Christy and Woo Woo Bestie goes over to the Woo Woo Bestie's house while the husband is sleeping to go get her stuff. That's what I'm wondering. Why does she need more money for? That's exactly right. But that's what I read today, is that she's asking for more money. But isn't it funny that Gypsy gave money to her, but Gypsy didn't give the money to go and bail out her assumingly best friend from jail? Isn't that weird? And let me see. I have got a live. Let's listen to it. I've got a live. I think I still have it on here. Is this it? No. Oh, here it is. Now, listen to this. This is them talking about what happened with the Woo Woo Bestie.
If y'all would have heard this girl's tears, if y'all would have heard her cries, like it would have made y'all, it would have made you sick to your fucking stomach. This bitch needs to be called the fuck out by fucking everyone, because.
Now, why does she need to use that type of language? You know, why must you use that type of language? Let me tell you, when I was growing up, my mom used to say, people that talk like that, they can't think of any other vocabulary to use. I don't know. It makes you just sound horrible.
This is not okay. And I hope that nobody makes this about anything else but this, because do y'all not, I don't think people realize how bad this could have went because of this bitch right here.
Lindsay had no warning. This girl messaged him. Lindsay was in the bathroom, had to lock herself in the bathroom, and was shaking and trembling in fear because of this girl telling on her.
Her name's Laura May, right? Laura May with the O, though, like L-O.
Domestic violence, DV, is not a joke. It's not funny. It's not cute. It is dangerous. And why would this girl go and do this? Why? She doesn't know Lindsay.
And
She's
when's
not
the last time
concerned
Lindsay's
about
done
Lindsay at
anything to
all.
anybody? She doesn't even talk about this shit anymore.
Everyone's
It
asking in the
is,
chat. Lindsay is safe. Lindsay is out of that.
But why would the first place you go is to TikTok? Why would you go to TikTok to put all of this out? That's what I want to know. That's the weird thing about it, is why would you go there? It just doesn't make any sense. But I really think you're not hearing Gypsy talk about Bree as much anymore. And it makes you wonder, are they not as close anymore? I mean, I don't think they're as close. But hold on, let me put this on my phone. I want y'all to listen to this too. Hold on. I'm putting this on my phone. This is another. So you hear them telling the story that, oh, poor Lindsay. But I think Lindsay wanted to get out of there. I think that what it is that she wanted to go and run free with Gypsy. That's what she wanted to do. She wants to have the life like Gypsy has. Hold on. Let me see what this one says. Let's listen to this one. Hold on. Because I was trying to listen to
this. Needs to make some people open their eyes and be like, you know what? Maybe I need to take a step back. I'm not saying that every one of y'all. I know there's a lot of people who's not like this at all. But if you can hate someone or hate, I don't even know what to fucking call it. It ain't fucking hate. I'm sorry.
And nobody's hating on anybody. We're just trying to get the truth out, is what we're trying to get out. Because Gypsy is dangerous. She is very dangerous.
Sorry, because y'all don't even, I feel like, how do you hate somebody so much that you don't even know? But whatever the fuck it is, if this is how far it pushes you, they want to tell people who get bullied to unplug or who might be going through shit mentally, unplug. No, bitch, you need to unplug because this shit ain't normal. No, Lindsay didn't, Lindsay, you didn't know her, right? Like, you didn't.
No.
I don't think so.
The supporter of Lindsay's though.
At one point, okay. And Lindsay turned her back on her.
How did Lindsay turn her back on her?
I'm joking.
I just think that something is about to happen. I think that they're planning on something because think about it. Gypsy just started a brand new TikTok account. Why would she start a brand new TikTok account? Hey, Kathleen, boss lady. How in the world? Why would she start a new TikTok account? That just makes no sense. I don't understand it. And did you see what her TikTok is up to right now? Hold on, I've got it on my phone. I'm going to tell you guys. Because her TikTok, and she just started it, yesterday? And it's already up to 32.6 thousand followers. And that to me is insane. And I think it's really bad because they talk about they're doing this distraction because they know that. And where's the old Kimberly? The old one's still up there. The old one, it is still being used by Bree. And that's the weird thing about it. Yeah, I don't know about Nick. I don't know if Nick is into that or not. I haven't seen anything with them saying he is. I don't know. But I do know that Gypsy was in it before Nicholas Godejohn. And the reason why I say that is because Dan Glidewell actually was under oath and said that Gypsy, he had a taste for the control or control play or something like that with Gypsy. So I do know that Gypsy was into the BDSM before Nicholas. I don't know if Nicholas was actually into that stuff. But I did see in a lot, let me see if I can pull this up. I seen in a lot of the searches that Gypsy was looking up a whole lot of stuff. Hold on, I'm getting it up right now. Here we go. Because he was looking up a lot. I know Gypsy was. Hold on. Here's the Google searches. Let me pull it up here. Cause she because she was looking at Nintendo female characters. She was looking up. Hold on. She was looking up. I don't know who this Kaylee. Who is Kaylee Kuko? Was looking up her X tape, and they were looking up like celebrity X tapes. I mean, it is over and over again, and looking for the websites on that. And she was even looking for the butt plugs, animal butt plugs. Let me see. What else do I see? Hold on. Free update. And I don't know, whatever. And also the Daddy Dom play. She was really into that. That was a big thing that Gypsy was into. And you know, when Becca was talking about what happened in, when was it, 2011, that Gypsy was supposed to have sent something to Rod, and you know, that's been deleted. We have no clue what it was. But with Christy even knew she had another Facebook account. And that's what's so strange to me. But she wasn't even going to tell Dee Dee about this account. I don't understand that. Hold on, I'm trying to get to, I'm opening up the drive here so we can go through some of this. But my phone is so slow. Okay, here we go. But there is so much stuff that I think this one is, and I don't know what this means either. They were looking up, what is motherless.com? Have you guys heard of that? Hey, New Orleans lady. Have you guys heard of motherless.com? I don't know what that is. Hold on, let me see. What is the website? Motherless.com. Let's see what that's about, because I see a lot of that coming up too. And I don't know what that means. Oh, hold on. I'm going to show you guys. I just asked Microsoft what it is, because I've never heard of it before. But there's a lot of searches for motherless.com. It says it's a user-generated, adults-only file hosting community known for allowing a wide range of legal content with minimal moderation. It's not a mainstream social platform. It's a free file hosting. I don't really know what that means. While the site technically allows any legal media, it's widely known for adult content, including explicit material, adult entertainment. So, guys, I see a lot. I see that website being looked up a lot. Let me see. What else do we have? And then there's Porno XO, X videos. I mean, it's a lot. Sun porno. Oh my God. Meetme.com. There is just a lot of explicit. There's a lot of explicit searching that was done. And this is just, and there's pages and pages of it. Hold on. And then there's one that's shades of pink. Do you know what that is? Let me ask Microsoft. What is shades of pink? Guys, I hope nothing happens to me and somebody has to dig into my my searches with me searching what in the world they're looking at. That's like it's saying that one is a fashion magazine is what that's kind of like. Lots of Facebook, YouTube, nudevista.com. I mean, there's so much. There's just so much that's just. Now, if you go into the weeds, if you go into some of theirs, it shows all of the Facebook. I didn't mean to go there. All of the Facebook stuff that they did. And why didn't I just don't understand why Christy thought that that everything is fine. Yes, just let her, she's got this secret Facebook, and I'm thinking it's because she just did not like Dee Dee. That's what I'm thinking. He had to talk to her in the way he was dominant. I believe, yes. So he researched it. I believe that because he doesn't sound scary at all. I mean, not at all. That's what I think is funny. And it makes you wonder, oh yeah, there was another one that I clicked on, and the Emma Rose one, I think is really strange. Let me see. My phone has a lot of problems trying to get, some of it doesn't want to open up correctly. Yes, Gypsy love bombed Nick, then groomed him. Yes, and insisted he be the evil partner. And they said that she called him Jeffrey Dahmer, and he did not like that at all. I mean, at all. And this is something else I've always wondered. Isn't it funny how Aaliyah has not really came out and said like her side or anything like that? Isn't that just weird? And that she knows all about it. She knows what really happened. What is this? And see, mine, a lot of times I can't open it correctly because it starts acting all strange. So, and that woman that also wanted to talk about that woman that Becca Scoops talked about. The one that talked about Gypsy and that she read her book and that's all she needs to know. Yes, boss lady. I've been talking to Audrey. Yes. I think she did too. But what do you guys think? Where do you think that Dee Dee was when Gypsy was making all of these videos? That's what I would like to know. I love New Orleans lady. I love Audrey. Audrey is, I love her. She is no holds bar and she puts everything out there. I love her to death. Kathleen said away from Jip. But where was she? I'm just wondering, do you think that she was really sick and she was laying down? Because we see the sun coming through the windows. So we know that the windows were not covered up like they said in all of these documentaries. We know that. At least not at that point. And when were those window shades actually put on? It makes you wonder, did Gypsy put them on maybe the week before all of this happened? But that's what I mean, I've always wondered that. Did she put it on the week that all of this happened? Because she was probably acting up during all of this, and who knows, and I've always wondered this, was Dee Dee tortured? And that's what scares me, and that's what gives me nightmares, is it scares me to think that maybe she was tortured that whole week before Nick actually got there. And it just hurts my stomach to even think that that could be happening. Because if you remember what Gypsy said her mom's last words were, please don't hurt me. And if you noticed in those texts and those Facebook messages, the ones that Gypsy did, and it was about what, a month before? I think it was like a month. No, it was that whole year. Hold on, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to play it for you guys. Because it was that whole year, and those Facebook statuses. And I just thought that they were just so, here it is. Hold on. I'm going to get this and I'm going to let me record it real quick, and that way I can get it on here. Because she was really acting like she cared about her mom. Think that when we finally get through everything, we can know for sure I just really think that I really feel like she was being tortured. And the funny thing is she told Nick that her mother took a sleeping pill, and we know for a fact that that did not happen. And that's what makes it just makes it so sad. I feel relaxed. Yes, yes. Yes, Kathleen, that's exactly what she said. And it just makes you wonder what really happened that night. I'm wondering if yeah, because she was sick. She was looking up because she may have had to have dialysis. And you know that for people that takes dialysis, they are really sick. It's, because of course, they can't urinate. So all of that's in their body is actually being, it's being poisoned. Hey, Rosalie. I just think that is so sick. New Orleans lady, I've been watching this unfold since 2000. Oh my goodness. I just really want justice for Dee Dee, because I really think that she was a woman that really loved her daughter. And I really think that she gave everything to try to make sure that her daughter was okay. She did everything to make sure she had the medical care that she needed. Hey, Magical. Yes, I think so too. And just seeing her, and for Gypsy to say the words that she says about her own mother. And that's what hurts. Yeah, Dee Dee was not, I mean, she was not, Mother Teresa, but who around us is? None of us are. We've all made mistakes. But her mistake did not warrant this happening to her. And for the people that still praise Gypsy is what I don't understand. All of the answers are out here. Everything is out to know what Gypsy has done, how guilty she really is. And they still cannot see past. Just like, crying Ryan. Gypsy searched for a 10-foot metal shed as... See, that's what scares me. And when she said that her mother did that spell on her, I don't think it was Dee Dee doing any spells. I think it was more like Gypsy doing the spells, not Dee Dee, because I don't think that Dee Dee would do anything if she knew it would hurt her. If it would hurt, Gypsy, I don't think she would do it. But I always seem to wonder, because Dee Dee knew that she was getting sick. Dee Dee knew that she was getting sick and that she was not going to be able to keep this going any longer. And I wonder if one of the reasons, because this came to me a couple of nights ago, I wonder if Dee Dee was going to have to come clean. And Gypsy knew that everybody was going to find out what was happening. And did that kind of cause it? Because we know that Gypsy did not want to take care of her mother. I was wondering that as well. I was wondering that as well, if it wasn't a ritual. Because hey, Fallout, because you guys know that when she left prison, it had up under her religion that she was Wiccan. But Wiccan isn't like that, because Wiccan is nature. It's all about the nature. It's not about voodoo and stuff like that. It's about trusting in nature. You think so? Okay, guys, I've got this right here. I'm going to put it on let me put this on the laptop really quick, because we're going to go through this. And this is from Zombie Mom is what I'm going to show. I think I've showed it to you guys before, just in a video, but I want to show you this if I can get it on my laptop. But it's going through some of the Facebook statuses that Gypsy did. Oh my gosh, Fallout. I think so too. Because if you listen to that, that is just really... And did you see how she was walking out of court? Oh my gosh. It was... Okay, guys, hold on. Watch. I've finally got this uploaded to my laptop. Let's watch this real quick, because this is kind of weird to me. Uh-oh, wrong thing.
Emma Rose account, and this is what she posted.
And I'm guessing Emma Rose is the one that Christy knew about. That's what I'm wondering, since she did know about her having a secret Facebook account.
At the beginning of the new year on January 1st, she said happy 2015. On January 4th, she says, This year things change. Good changes. 2015 is a year of bravery, growth, and the bond of Nick and my relationship grows and develops outside the screen. And Nick comments and says, "True, sweetheart." But we get a level of our bond we haven't been able to before, which is a physical one. On February 9th, 2015, only 4 months before the crime, Gypsy states, "I love my mom so much. She's the best mom."
What changed? What changed in 3-4 months? What changed for her to be able to do what she did to her mom?
We had our rough moments, now it's in the past. She's my best gal pal. We do everything together. Paint nails, go swimming, play games. And we made a deal, as long as I behave, he will do everything to improve her health.
And see, that part is weird to me because I'm wondering, did she tell Gypsy, well, I'm just going to die. Who cares anymore? I'm not going to do anything. That's what it made me think with Gypsy saying that her mom would do whatever to make her health better.
I'm happy. On February 22nd, Gypsy says, "My dress is all ready for my special day with my handsome king." This was leading up to March, when she was going to meet Nick at the movie theater and meet him for the very first time. Gypsy comments and says the 12th cannot get here fast enough. And Nick says, "Of course, I agree, honey." On March 3rd, Gypsy states that her mom Dee Dee went to the eye doctor and her eye pressure is gone higher. She stated that the doctor broke the news that one day she will go blonde, and Gypsy claims it was hitting her really hard and she couldn't stop crying.
See, that's what I find. So she was really sick. Not only was she really sick, but we know she has eye problems. How much really could she have fought back? That's what I always think, is how much could she really have fought back? If she sleeps on her stomach, she's got glaucoma, so she can't really see. We know that she is steps away from having to go on dialysis. Think of how weak she was. Think of how weak she was. And I just think that that is the saddest thing. And then for Gypsy to say the things that she said to her mom, she just can't get it through her thick head that her dad really did not want her. And I hate to be the one that says that, but her dad did not care. Rod didn't care about her. Rod could have cared less. And you know, Christy did not care. But all of a sudden, Christy just loves her the way she says she does. There's no way. There's no way. Because if you remember, Christy is the reason why Rod gave up custody of his other little girl. Because Christy said that would be the best gift ever. Just give up your custody rights. What? Who's going to give up their custody rights of their own child? Are you serious? And I bet you she was hoping to goodness that he would give up his custody rights to Gypsy as well. And I think that's why Gypsy is in this whole daddy dom thing, is because she has daddy issues. And I don't think with her being out, I don't think it's changed, because I don't think Rod cares enough to actually, you see that he doesn't give her advice. And what does he say? Oh, she's been told what to do all of her life, so I feel like I shouldn't have to tell, I don't want to say anything. No, Rod, it's because you just don't care. Yes, Charlotte. Christy just wanted her children, and that's it. It's just her children. And do you think, and they just really did not think that any of these FOIAs would come out. And now we know the truth about all of them. They didn't lose touch. They always have been talking, always. And why couldn't she have reached out to Rod and say, hey, my mom is doing this to me. I want out of this. Come and pick me up. And I think it's because she didn't want out. She just wanted her mom out of the way because she wanted her mom's car, she wanted her mom's house, and she wanted her mom's money. And for her to be getting rich off of what she's done to her mom is still supporting her to this day. And I think that's the sad thing. Her mom is still, to this day, helping Gypsy out. Still making sure Gypsy has everything. Because Gypsy has become notorious. And she's making money out of every stab wound. She's making money. Guys, I got to get going. I'm almost out of wood here, so I got to go outside and get some wood. I love you guys. Tell me what you think. And guys, I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Bye, guys.